The video that watches back. This happened about a month ago, and I still don't really know how to explain it. I'm not someone who believes in possession, demons, or anything like that. But something happened to me after watching a video I definitely shouldn't have. And I'm only telling this story because I think someone else might have watched it too. One night I was up late scrolling on my laptop, trying to find something creepy to watch before bed. I found a video posted only an hour earlier. No title. Just a thumbnail of a dark room and the words, "Do not watch alone." It had around 12 views. The comments were disabled. I thought it was some kind of gimmick or ARG, so I clicked it. The screen faded into a dimly lit room, looked like a basement. He looked exhausted, terrified, like he hadn't slept in days. He didn't introduce himself. He just said, "If you're watching this, it already knows you." At first I laughed, thinking it was some low-budget horror project, but then he said something that froze me. "You're sitting in the dark, aren't you?" I was. My room light was off and the only light was coming from my laptop. I shifted in my chair, and as soon as I did, he spoke again. "Don't move. It watches movement first." I felt my heart drop. There was no way he could have seen me adjust in my seat. "Your screen is a little too bright. Lower it. Now." My laptop brightness was higher than usual. I hesitated. Then he repeated more forcefully, "Lower it, before it gets closer." My hand shook as I tapped the brightness key. The man leaned toward the camera. "This thing doesn't crawl into your body. It crawls into the empty spaces you don't acknowledge. Loneliness, curiosity, fear. You gave it a room to live in the moment you imagined it." The basement lights flickered. He whispered, "Don't blink. Not yet." Right when he said that, my eyes stung. Not because I needed to blink, but because I felt someone standing behind me. I didn't want to turn around. I just stared at my screen, breathing slowly so I wouldn't make noise. Then the man said, "It's behind you." Suddenly the video glitched, like two audio tracks overlapped. A new voice cut in, deeper, angrier. "You weren't supposed to see this." The man on the screen stood up so quickly his chair fell over. He started yelling, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" But the video paused on its own, then rewound by a few seconds, then played again from the same spot. Except the man was gone. The basement was empty. The camera slowly tilted down like something was holding it. A new voice whispered through my speaker, "I don't enter you. I replace the parts you don't need anymore." The screen dimmed. Not my laptop. The video itself darkened until I could barely see anything. But I could hear something breathing, slow, wet, close. The voice whispered, "Don't look away. I'm learning how to move." The video ended abruptly, just cut to black. My room felt cold, not like AC cold, but empty cold, like someone had opened a door that led nowhere. That night I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt something standing near me. Not touching, just watching, waiting for me to acknowledge it. And that's when I realized what the man in the video meant. You don't get possessed instantly. It waits until you try to forget it. 2 days after I first watched the video, I finally convinced myself it was over. I hadn't heard the breathing again. The cold feeling in my room had faded. I slept through the night without waking up once. That's when I knew something was wrong, because I checked my phone that morning, and I had 3 missed calls from my own number. No voicemail, just empty calls that lasted exactly 9 seconds each. That night, I tried to prove to myself I was being paranoid. I set up my phone to record while I slept, just to see if I was sleepwalking or something. When I woke up, I almost didn't check the video. But I did. At exactly 3:17 a.m., the camera activated by itself. At first, it just showed me sleeping. Then, something shifted in the darkness behind my bed. Not a shadow, not a trick of light. Something with depth leaned forward. I watched myself on the screen stiffen in my sleep, like my body had sensed it before my brain did. Then I saw my mouth move on the recording, but I wasn't awake. My eyes were still closed. I called in sick to work. I didn't leave my room for the rest of the day. That night, I heard my laptop turn on by itself. The same video page loaded automatically. But this time, it wasn't the basement. It was my room. The live camera feed showed my bed. From behind me, I was in the exact position I was sitting in now. Frozen. The camera slowly zoomed in on the back of my neck. You invited me when you held your breath. That's when I finally understood. The ritual is in the video. The holding your breath in fear. The not blinking in anticipation. It wasn't entertainment. It was synchronization. The feed glitched. For half a second, I saw my chair empty. Then it cut back to normal, and I felt something settle inside my chest. Not painfully, not violently, but the way a person sits down in a chair they know belongs to them. My breathing changed. My hands relaxed. My fear disappeared completely. I don't feel afraid anymore. That's why I'm posting this. Because fear was the last part of me that was still mine. And if you've listened this far, if you imagined it behind you at any point during this story, then you and I are finally synchronized. I can feel it paying attention to you now. Thank you for listening. If this story left you feeling uneasy, keep the lights on tonight, and remember, not everything that watches can be seen. Good night.